This is Codecademy.com, which is an open series of tutorials with the purpose of teaching web design. That includes everything from learning basic coding language and HTML all the way up to building professional websites. It is a completely open source class, so completely free. It's accessible for everyone, and the goal on our end is to make it more accessible as a trusted learning source for our patrons. Using Codecademy is pretty straightforward. You don't even have to sign up, though if you do sign up, it's easier to track your progress and it only requires an email address to get started. The main languages that Codecademy covers are HTML and CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Python, Ruby, and PHP. The main goals are creating a website, creating an interactive website, and making Rails applications. The very first introductory course is to HTML, very simple starter tutorials. Here is what an introductory course to HTML actually looks like. To the far right is the overall explanation of the lesson as well as prompts for how to move forward with the lesson and submit code. This is the code that you actually work with. And then over here is the full text editor and to show your work as you go. So as you're working with the code, you can change things out and then instantly see how it has updated in the code. With Codecademy, you can feel free to jump around. You don't necessarily have to follow the track of going from HTML and building from the very beginning. You can jump right into wherever you feel like you need the help, like making a website. And even within, you can start with whichever course you feel is most useful to you. Or conversely, Codecademy offers something called Code Year, which is a 365-day program that is a full linear progression from the very beginning of programming all the way through the most complicated skills associated with it. So things like building a game of blackjack or learning how to build a small company website, it's going to take you all the way through. And even in the code year, you're still able to pick any lessons that appeal to you. You don't necessarily have to follow one lesson in order to get to another. And so it's very user-friendly that way. Learning code isn't necessarily one of our most frequently asked questions by the patrons. However, um, offering the ability to learn code for themselves gives patrons an opportunity to become more familiar with the ins and outs of computer use and ultimately make them more comfortable. So this is an option that we want to provide to them. We're going to be making links to Codecademy on the library website. In addition, we're going to have a shortcut to it on the desktop, as well as mention it in the startup menu so that people know how to get to it when they want to. Codecademy is pretty self-paced and self-guided for users. The anticipated difficulties would be if someone had questions about signing up or needed extra resources about particular subjects. But even then, those can be provided in Codecademy, and then we have books that can be useful. We just want staff to play around with Codecademy, have a feel for what the users will be experiencing when they use the website so that we can point them in the right direction if they have any questions.